This is the dismantling of banking systems. I call to all spiritual contracts that exist within my past, present, and future beings, selves, and existences in this dimension, time stream, and all time streams above and below the Earth-centric sine wave of coexistence. At this exact moment, in the ever-present co-creating moment, I summon all DNA lineage ancestors to create a unified, proper spiritual court of equity, so I may find remedy and resolve with all contracts that have been inserted fine print during the pre-birth and birth process. I call to the four elements, air, earth, water, and fire. I call forth the spiritual court of equity with all ancestors in union with the migration patterns of all soul families incarnating on Mother Earth. I call the primary ancestor spirits of Earth Mother to come into this spiritual court of equity to hold space for the reading and removal of all contracts dealing with energetic exchange of value systems. I call forth the Earth Global Dreamtime. I call to the unified Dreamtime societies of all Earth to come into the spiritual court of equity to provide their complete wisdom to this sacred moment in which I reclaim my sovereign spirit authority for all exchange of energy for value systems. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with the primary banking families. I revoke all spiritual contracts with all banking family crests. I revoke, remove, and dissolve all banking family trusts that use my name as a number for energy harvesting. I revoke all assumed rights used by the DNA-based kingship, lordship, or manor role contracts that function within all banking families. I hereby state I do not consent to rule by the few. I do not consent to rule by the banking families. I do not consent with the assumed authority of the banking families funding for the free court systems. I revoke all rights, privileges, and rules created by the family crest-based or DNA lineage-based banking families to dominate and control the free court system. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts that define the bank system as being intertwined with my free will. I revoke all fine print within all of my soul contracts, past, present, and future, that deal with any banking system as a 3D matrix, debt collection, or energy harvesting system. I demand the instant repayment of all energy and 3D matrix representations of value. I do not consent to the use of corrupt courts as a means of judgment. I revoke all rights of the 3D-based courts' assumptions of power with any 3D exchange for value systems created for the follies of the bank families. I hereby revoke all consent of ink-based, web-based, or energy-based signature harvesting systems. I revoke all rights to use my 3D matrix signature to represent me in any court system, spiritual or 3D matrix. I do not consent to the use of my soul contracts as a means of energy harvesting from any of the primary banking systems created by the primary soul contracts holding bank families. I revoke all rights to use my name in any form of banking family coat of arms contracts. I demand that the instant and permanent erasure of all signatures used to represent me in the banking exchange for value system. I do not consent to the use of my life force for exchange for value banking system that is not completely transparent with all transactions, spiritual or 3D matrix. And I hereby state that all bank-based buildings using sacred geometry have no power over my sovereign free will. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with all banking systems that use sacred geometry as a means of energy harvesting or a tool for domination and control. I revoke all rights, privileges, and assumptions with all buildings that are sacred, that use sacred geometry as fine print soul contract enforcement systems. I do not consent to any sacred geometry building to house, hold, or transfer any of my life force to any banking system on all of Earth's timelines and/or coexisting dimensions. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with all sacred geometry systems that use my life force without direct consent from me and all of my soul family ancestors in complete agreement. I revoke all rights, assumptions, and rules that create a new sacred geometry banking system. I hereby declare that all banking families and systems are now banished from operating in secret, covert, or overt ways to harvest my energy in any way, shape, or form. I hereby declare that Earth Mother is now in dominion with me for all energy exchange for value systems. I call forth to all the ancestors to honor this reading of my free will and enter it into the Earth Akashic record for all sentient kind to understand that our freedom comes with the use of free will at all times. So yes, thank you, and I really hope that this works for you. Banking systems use sacred geometry underneath the floors to harvest energy. It's some really funky stuff, but if you like this type of stuff, I will be having more on a playlist, so subscribe or like if you choose to. Thank you. I hope you have a blessed day.